Hey, I'm Kevin with Godlike Incorporated, and I'm here today to introduce you to a new product line that we're really excited about, Pivotal plugs and cables. Now this may look like an ordinary 1/4-inch plug, but it is actually a 1/4-inch plug that rotates in a 180-degree arc. And as you can imagine, this allows for an unlimited combination of connection options, making a lot of difficult connections much easier than they normally are using a standard straight plug or right angle plug. And I'm going to take you through a bunch of these different connections and show you how ingenious and useful this product is. Okay, so here we have your standard Strat style instrument with a front mounted jack, and you could just use the Pivotal in a straight position, goes right in, boom, take it out, and you're good to go. Now if you switch instruments during your set and you switch between a humbucker style with a side mounted jack and this front mounted style jack, the Pivotal makes these kind of guitar changes really simple and easy. Okay, so here we have your standard humbucking style guitar with side mounted jack, and we've got our Pivotal cable, and we go boom and boom. And as you can see, if you've ever used a straight plug on a side mounted jack, it's kind of precarious. You can break the plug and usually it breaks off in the jack and then you're opening up your guitar to fix it. In this case, the Pivotal cable plugs in easily, goes along the side of the body of the guitar and right against the strap pin, and you're good to go. Now we have your typical Tele style instrument, which has a side mounted jack that is recessed. And if you've ever tried to plug in a right angle cable to one of these, you can't, because the cable just comes right out. So with the Pivotal, you could have it in the straight position, plug it in, and then run it back against the side of the instrument over to your strap pin. Last but not least, we have your acoustic guitar with end pin jack, and you've got your Pivotal right in, and boom, the plug goes out of the way. One of the best uses for Pivotal cables is to make connections between your pedals. If you don't use a pedal board, you know that audio jumpers can get twisted and tangled, making an awkward mess. Pivotal cables rotate within the pedal's plug, allowing them to be moved around easily. If you use a pedal board, you know that straight and right angle plugs can be difficult to use in tight spaces between pedals. Since Pivotal plugs can be set to any angle, they make tight connections between pedals easy. They also allow for shorter cable runs between pedals, which helps to improve your tone. If you use a true bypass looper or switching device, Pivotal plugs will allow you to make connections tighter and more conveniently. Another situation where Pivotal cables come in really handy is if you have an amplifier with a top-mounted input jack. You could go in from the top and then fold the plug over so that it's out of the way in case you want to lay another item on top of your amp. A great design aspect of the Pivotal plugs is that the stress point is taken away from the solder joints where the cable meets the plug, and it's moved to the actual pivot point of the plug. And this is going to extend your plug life and prevent intermittency in your shorts in your cable. And another thing is it really, the cable will move when it's in a jack and it twists around, and this will actually prevent breakage. And I don't know if you've ever stepped on your cable and broken it off while it's plugged into your amp, but the Pivotal cable prevents this from happening. Pivotal cables are ideal for speaker connections if you have a separate head and cab. Straight plugs can get broken off and right angles won't fit into recessed jacks on the back of cabs. But if you're using Pivotal, you can go straight in and then fold it over, and same thing on the cab. So there you have it. Pivotal plugs and cables from Godlike. Check us out online at godlike.com. I'm Kevin from Godlike signing off, telling you to go get some. And now, an alliteration by Godlike's own Will Helmus, bassist at large. A problem plaguing players' pedal boards is probably poorly placed patch cables. The pivotal purpose of Pivotal plugs is plugging pedals upon your pedal board, perfectly providing optimal pedal placement. Thank you.